Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark are all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
2 moons. 2 moons is all that remained until the chapter of Benfrey's life as regent would finally draw to its close. It was high time for a new chapter to begin. He was undoubtedly overcome with a huge feeling of relief. For the first time in a long time, Benfrey felt like he could finally breathe. The weight and pressures of regency no longer weighed as a heavy burden on him. Finally, he had his reprieve. The prospects of home was a great comfort to him. It had been many years since he had last graced the halls of the Eyrie. He could scarcely remember what they even looked like. The images had become long distorted in his memory. All he knew was how his heart yearned for home, how it yearned for the tender caress of his loving wife. He anticipated the reunion with his beloved children and how much they'd grown in his absence. Although for many years now Benfrey dreamed of nothing but home, he knew his place and his true calling would always be by Lister's side. He found it hard to imagine a life away from the capital. Over the years he had played his part extremely well. For as long as he could remember, he had always been dutiful and loyal to House Sevenstar, and Andalia moulded him into the man he was today. He enjoyed all of the politics and the endeavours that Sevensport life had to offer. Benfrey did feel at a certain ease, as he knew Lister would make an exceptional king. However, he could not escape the niggling sensation of worry that dwelled deep within. He knew he'd protect him no matter the cost, but Lister was still so young and with such a trusting nature, too trusting if Benfrey was to be blunt. He made easy prey for the leeches who would find themselves stuck to him without Benfrey there to repel them. Benfrey knew he could not simply stand idly by and leave the young king on his own to fend against the constant swarming of hungry wolves. If it was Lister's will, he would stand by his nephew's side and remain as hand to help with the burden of ruling. Benfrey was immensely proud of his nephew and the young man he had become. He was kind and caring, much like his dear mother at that age. Oh, how proud she would have been. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Grand Northern Kingdom of Andalia with High King Lister of Andalia, the 15-year-old king who only has 1 year left now of his regency until he comes fully of age and we can get him finally coronated into the true king. We can have a nice tournament and such for that as well. We can also now sort out a marriage for him. He can actually have an ambition as well, which I think is just to get married. Yeah, we can't go for anything more exciting than that, but at least we can try and fulfill his first ambition. I do want to try and change his hairstyle as well. Once we can do that. We can't do it just yet. I'm guessing that we have to be 16 before we can do that, maybe. In the last episode, we obviously took down the threat of the wildlings beyond the wall, and then I did a couple of fixes around the realm. Basically, some of the lands that had been inherited by people who already had land. I've landed new houses under those people and such. So we will go over those first. So, for example, if we come down now into the Cape of Eagles, we have Sir Victorian Reef, the 7 worshipping Andal Northman Ironborn mix, who is the new Lord of the Cape of Eagles, as the House Coldwater owned both. And then in Marlet Bay, we now have House Darkblade, back from the south as they randomly disappeared. And I'm very impressed with House Darkblade, with how many amazing knights they seem to churn out. We have Lord Elwood, the leader of the house, who's a skilled fighter and a knight and a duelist, so he's interesting. Then his son, Sir Ryman, is a trained fighter and a knight and decent commander. And then we've got Sir Daffin Darkblade, who is a formidable fighter, so I do want to try and invite him to court if we can. If we send him a gift, will we get him to join our court? Yes, we can. I want to get him as a personal bodyguard. I think he's perfect, and there's plenty of other Darkblades around back in their house. There's also Mance Darkblade, who's still a squire and a poor fighter. So yeah, we'll invite Daffin to court to fill one of those slots as one of our personal bodyguards. So that's 2 of our houses that have now been landed. What else did I do? I think it was over on the Iron Islands, where in Sealskin Point we have Lord Yoren Saltsail has been landed there, as House Farwind died out, so we needed some new lords for there. And then in Lordsport we now have House Saltworm as well. So that's those Ironborn houses landed. I'm pretty sure that was every... Oh, no, it wasn't. If we go down to Crabshaw, where we had, of course, Gilbert Crescent. He owned 2 lands and they'd been split for Border Gore, which was annoying. But what the plan always was that when the old Crescent lady died, who owned the other one, it would split. So the Crescents of Crabshaw, and then up north we have the Crescents of Lunar Woods, which is the more impressive and decent line, where we have a Lord Marwyn, who's a formidable fighting duelist, who's also an heavy infantry leader and a skilled commander. So really impressive, actually. Very impressive. But that's pretty much everything throughout the realm that we needed to sort out. So now we need to find a nice bride for King Lister. And there were several ones that I managed to find. We'll go through and I'll show some of the other options, what they were. And we may use those for the princes, who are obviously a bit younger than Lister, sorry. We're talking about Enger. Prince Enger and Prince Owen. We obviously need matches for those at some point. Let's get down to the girls of in and around Lister's age. There was several that I was tempted by, but we have settled on one in the end. We had Mina Sevenstar, who was pretty decent, of the Blue Branch, who I believe is of Lister the Loyals line. I'm pretty sure that she is anyway. Then we had Grenna Crownless, who was also a decent one, who could be one for Enger or Owen. Then there was Cynthia Corbury, who was pretty decent as well, one of the matches that I looked over. Alyssa Bloom is the one that I've decided to go for, though. And then I think there was also a Firehand and a Rack, but considering everything gone on with those lately. And the Blooms aren't really overly important at the moment, so it'd be nice to at least have some sort of Bloom around. I do miss the Blooms being around. So we've got Alyssa Bloom here, who you can see is attractive and a genius. She's shy, sturdy, and willful, so very impressive for a 14-year-old with that 16 learning and decent martial. And I think her mom's a Bloom, but she is in the Bolton Court. Her sister is the Bolton Heir, which is interesting, but she is a Bloom. So let's see if we can arrange a marriage between her and King Lister. And yes, we can. Perfect. So that should be a nice marriage, and it'd be nice to try and get that attractive and genius trait flowing in their children. Right, so let's unpause, get our marriage sorted out, as they are both old enough to marry. That shouldn't take too long to sort out. What else do we have? We can colonise some stuff, we can upgrade some holdings, but we're not going to do that because I want to hold Tourney and Coronation, of course. High King Lister of Andalia fulfilled the ambition to get married. Perfect. Lord Ellis of Longbow Hall ransomed Lady Bess from the clutches of Lord Danes the Wise. Sir Daffin Darkblade has arrived at your court. Can we now award him an honorary title? No, not court gesture. No, we'll go into it separately. Lord Hugh of Runestone declined the proposal for an alliance with Lord Danes the Wise. Lord Yorick the Candid declined the proposal for an alliance with Danes the Wise. So Danes looks like he's on the move again, trying to do bits and bobs. May you live in harmony and contentment. I accept the suggestion that High King Lister and Alyssa get married. Perfect. So we've got our bride sorted now. The first Bloom Queen, I believe, as well. But I want to go on to our minor titles. I want to make Daffin Darkblade one of our bodyguards. So who do we have in there? We have Nana Harlaw, Sir Byam Firehand, Lady Pia the Vixen, Sir John Hornbreaker, and Sir Enger Sevenstar, which is our cousin. We'll keep him there. We'll remove Byam Firehand. He's quite old, and he's more of a steward and commander than a bodyguard, and we'll make Daffin Darkblade our new bodyguard. I don't think there's anything else we need to sort out in here. No, everything else there is pretty much sorted. I can't wait until we can raise the crown of authority, which we hopefully will be able to do soon once Lister comes of age, because that's obviously took some massive hits over the last couple of reigns. All our council absolutely love us, though, which is great to see. They've all got decent opinions of us. When is Enger's birthday? Lister. I keep calling him Enger. I'm too used to having too many Engers. Commander Malador the Rash has declared revolt against the rule of Lord Commander Belvazar the Brilliant on Lord Commander Belvazar the Brilliant. Can the Night's Watch even do that? Is that actually a thing the Night's Watch can do? No idea. That's interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on that. How old is our younger brother now? Prince Enger's 11 and Owen is 10, so we won't sort them out betrothals just yet. At the age of 70, Mordain Lancer died of gonorrhea. That's going around at the minute. It's very, 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 very contagious, apparently. And at age 64, your bannerman, Lord Harstein of Frosty Shore, was beheaded on the orders of Lord Maynard of the Grey Cliffs. Interesting. I wonder what he did that for. So who's the new Lord of Frosty Shore now? Lord Arlen of Frosty Shore. Okay. That's interesting. Must have been bad. I can't imagine Maynard being the type to go around executing people like that. At the age of 22, some randomer died. That's fine. looking at Dainese Corbury now, of course he did take the Eastwold lands as well, and as he has all of this to his name now, which is very worrying. Over 15,000 men just to himself, and if he can get some of those alliances that he keeps trying to get, something happening over the Royna, I don't care. The Tourney, oh, we've got a Tourney apparently. The Tourney had finally got underway with the first day of the list beginning in earnest. You failed to make it through undefeated, however, and was unhorsed in a joust by Sir Victorian, whose prowess was clearly greater. You have been eliminated from the Tourney. I will win next time. What Tourney are we even at? But okay, an Ironborn getting through in a Tourney, which is interesting. I didn't even realise that we were at a Tourney. Are we a guest somewhere then? Visiting somewhere? Apparently not, so I'm not really sure about that. I don't know what Tourney we're at. Let's have a look at our factions. We've still got that faction for independence from John the Unready, which is annoying. The Iron Islands are trying to get the Iron Islands. No, yeah, there's loads of that there. Dainese Corbury still going for that elective succession, as well as overthrow the monarchy of Mounting and Vale. So he's really trying to go for some stuff at present, which is worrying. We've got one child lacking in education focus, Prince Enga. Let's have a look at you then, Enga. You're very, very decent intrigue-wise. Very good stewardship as well. You've got the just trait, which is very good stewardship and learning. Cynical, decent for intrigue. Ooh. Proud, arbitrary, cruel, or ruthless, martial +1. Affectionate, brooding, poor fighter. Ooh, it's quite a hard choice to make for Enga, actually. He's very good in several. It looks like he's got two good ones for stewardship, though, as well as stewardship being half decent, so we'll go for that. I don't really want a prince and heir being too much intrigue focus. That could be very bad for us, so we will avoid that. Why things tick along? Is there any plots or such that we need to look out for? Let's have a look. Ensar finally fell. I don't care. Kill High King Lister of Andalia. Oh, wow, and that's got a hell of a lot of backers. Including Lord Benfrey the Just. What? What? Who has 100% opinion. This is what I hate about this game. And it's a Roseheart who's leading it. And who else have we got in here? Roman Sevenstar. Our cousin, okay. Our uncle and regent, apparently. I'm pretty sure I've seen Pia in there as well, our aunt, which doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Pia's in there. Lady Blackwood. Alicane, Redwall. This is absolutely ridiculous. Can we, end that plot? And no, we can't end that plot, which is annoying. So we may have to do something with Elise Roseheart. Can we try and imprison her? What are our chances of success? 92%. We're going to have to do it then. Lady Elise is now safely locked away in my dungeon awaiting her fate. So is there any other plots against us? I wasn't expecting to see that. No. Replace Lord John Sevenstar. Kill Rosal. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any more to try and kill us, thankfully. I can't believe how many backers that had. That's absolutely ridiculous. Doesn't look like there's any others that we need to worry about at present. So we now have 4 prisoners, so let's have a look what to do with those. We've got several wildlings, some that we can ransom, so we will do that, and we'll get ourselves a bit of gold. But what to do with Lady Roseheart? I'm very surprised to see a Roseheart plotting against us. That's just unheard of, isn't it? Husband's a Roseheart as well. Who's our heir? Sir Will Roseheart. We could exile her. We could call her for trial. Let's call her for trial. Let's give her a fair shout. Let's do it. Lister's fairly decent like that by the looks of his traits. He's got a lot of the virtues. I think he's got 5 of the 7 virtues so far. So Lady Elise Roseheart has demanded trial by combat and is summoning her champion to Sevensport. Okay, I was not expecting that. Okay, so we didn't even get to call her for a trial. Trial by combat. Who are we going to choose as our defender? My prisoner lady Alice Roseheart is complaining about her dark cell. We'll let her rot considering that she's going for trial by combat. I wonder who her champion will be. We've got several decent champions. We could send Pia. We could send Nana Harlaw with her Valyrian Steel Swords. We've got Daphne Darkblade as well as John Hornbreaker. To the humble scholar Lister, your wisdom and mercy allows you to accept your ransom. My courtier, Eliza of Seaguard, has expressed a desire to get married. You're not overly important, really, are you? So marry as you please, love. I'm not too bothered. You're not of a major house or anything like that. It is Sir Oliver of Sowshaw's turn to joust, but to the crowd's shock, he stumbles out to the tourney field late and clearly drunk from too much Volantine red, and with none of his armour and only slightly more of his clothing. He tries to mount his horse, but trips and falls comically to the ground, unable to even ride. Much to his relief, Lord Dainese Corbury of the Fingers seemed to find this hilarious. Okay, so it's a tourney in the Fingers, apparently. Who even are you? No idea. No idea at all. Got a lot of red traits. A lot of negative lifestyle traits. And your grace, as a high-ranking heir of House Darkblade, I do not see it wise to give up my family name to marry Liza of Seaguard, so I must regretfully decline to fulfill this marriage. Fine, you may keep your family name. The marriage between Sir Daffin Darkblade and Liza is converted to a normal non-matrimonial... No, he's too young for her, so they'll divorce and we'll find him his own bride now that he's in our court. Have we got anyone decent that we could marry him to? Not someone too high-ranking, because he's only a lower down member of a house. Maybe someone from around near his territory. He's 19, so somebody... Do you know what? Let's go on to the fine characters, because we've got that up anyway. Let's have a look at some of these women of around his age. Princess Rennie, could we actually marry... No, we can't. We can't marry him to a princess. Gwenda Crownless. She's already married. I'm guessing most of these will be married around this age. Diane Templeton, married. There's got to be some around here that aren't married. Sansa Firehand. Okay, she's not married. Can we arrange a marriage between her and Daffin Darkblade? Yes, we can. Perfect marriage. And she's very decent in martial as well, so she would be good to have around. And there we go. Let's now wait. So we've now got Sworn Shield needs filling. That's just going to be for Daffin Darkblade again, isn't it? We need to put him back in there. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Let's now wait for this trial to start, which is going to be exciting. The first day's jousting in Lord Daney's tourney is complete, with many lesser riders having already been eliminated from the competition. Now, over the coming days, the remaining men shall compete in the final list, tilting until only one champion remains. This should be good. Perhaps I can place a bet. Who's in it? Is there anyone involved that I'd like to place a bet on? I don't recognise most of them, so no, we'll just watch. We've got plenty of money anyway. There's no point placing a bet. I wonder who will win it. We've not had a tourney for quite some time. I'm looking forward to hosting our own tourney. Oh, we can organise a coronation ceremony already. I thought we had to wait for us to become 16 and when our regency ended. I will wait till our regency ends, because that makes more sense. And your wisdom and mercy are legendary. I accept your suggestion that Sir Daffin and Lady Sansa get married. Thank you, Lord Harrion. And Lord Harrion is looking pretty fly. Loving the beard and hair. And he does have a daughter now who's the heir, so at least he does have a child now. Which is awesome. Obviously, poor old Cass died in that last episode. Well, no, the episode before last, wasn't it, actually? Can't believe how much time's gone by already since then. When is this trial by combat going to take place? It's taken a long time. We can ransom you, though, another wildling from beyond the wall. Can we call you for trial yet? What's taking so long with your trial by combat? Our acquaintance died. John of Bramsford. Okay, it's no one over important, so we don't need to worry about that too much for now. Let's go for our mid POV, shall we, whilst we wait for that to finally happen. King Lister sat in the royal pavilion watching the tilts. He had been defeated early on, which had doused his hopes of impressing his new lady wife. Although Lister was no stranger to the sword and lance, his opponent's experience had gotten the better of him. Now he sat with his new queen as he watched the tourney. He thought about the lords around him who were his vassals. What did they think of him? Did they see him as a worthy successor to the Sevenstar name, or simply a pawn to his uncle Benfrey who served as regent in hand? Lister's uncles had advised him to prepare for his coronation, that it would be his first test as king. The entire realm would arrive in Sevensport to see him crowned and how he would act as a ruler and liege. Many would petition him for justice against those who had wronged them. Lister hoped he would impress the lords of the realm. His mother Lyanna had been loved by the lords and small folk alike. Lister hoped he would live up to her legacy. He had heard of the plot to kill him, which was led by Lady Roseheart. He was surprised by this. After all, he had grown up on tales of the loyal Roseheart knights who had served his family previously. The Lady Elise had been arrested and now sat imprisoned in Sevensport, where she awaited her trial by combat. He hoped the gods would decide her fate justly and allow her to be punished for her treason. Who would stand as his champion was yet to be decided. He knew his aunt was desperate for the chance to prove Lady Roseheart's guilt, but the thought that something could go amiss and cost Lady Pia her life scared him. He looked at his side at his new queen Alyssa. From the time he had known her, Lister had found her to be quite beautiful and very intelligent. Her house had always been loyal since the time of Aengar I and vowed to continue that loyalty until the end of days. Lister hoped they would remain on good terms and have a good marriage through the years. He had watched his parents' marriage fall apart and hoped that his would be better. Lister returned to watching the joust. It seemed as if Lord Harry Firehand and Benfrey Highstar were both favourites to win the tourney, and what a final that would make. Okay, Lord Benfrey Highstar and Sir Norbert Seymour were the next to joust in the list. After many tilts and broken lances, Sir Norbert was eventually unhorsed, leaving Lord Benfrey to be declared the winner. He thought, well, Benfrey Highstar's probably... If I didn't see that he was taking part, he's probably going to be the winner, isn't he? Lord Harry Firehand and Lord Damien Shycross were the next to joust in the list. After many tilts and broken lances, Lord Damien was eventually unhorsed, leaving Lord Harry to be declared the winner. He thought, well played Harry Firehand. At least we didn't have any mishaps with that Firehand versus Valyrian joust. I like the last time that happened. Are we going to get any other jousts pop up? Are we going to have this trial by combat pop up at any point? Tourney of Flint's Finger. As victor of the Tourney of Heartsholme, Lord Benfrey... Oh, he won. Lord Benfrey Highstar has the honour of choosing the Queen of Love and Beauty. He decided to crown his own wife, Gale... whatever her name is, Stytivala, as his queen. A good choice. After many tilt, okay, yeah, we already know that he won. So Benfrey Highstar defeated Harry Firehand in the final. That would have been a good final to watch. I'd pay to see that, definitely. When is this trial by combat going to finally happen? Oh god, here he goes again. Lord Danes the Wise has declared Lord Danes' claim on Redfort war on Lady Selene of Redfort. Oh, for God's sake. Lord Danes' tourney is finally over, and it is now time to ride home, having competed gamely in the list. So he gets everybody there for a tourney, and then at the end of the tourney he's like, yeah, I'm declaring war on House Redfort. Honoured High King, thank you for reminding me of my duties and obligations as your vassal. You are right, of course. For the foreseeable future, you have my promise not to support factions conspiring against you. Lady Alysanne the Rash. Very good. Right, we could do with sending our Spy Master and such elsewhere now. What other factions have we got to worry about? We've got the Crown Loyalist with Benfrey, Vardis and Joa Rakin. We could try and get the Aaron Stars on side, really, which is going to be hard work. I'm guessing it's going to be hard work anyway. Let's... send our Master of Laws to improve diplomatic relations in Erenford, which is going to be hard, I'm guessing. And we'll also get you scheming in Erenford as well to try and get them better behaved. We should really try and command him to end this war, shouldn't we? The Red Forts don't have a lot of men. Lady Elise of Whitestar has managed to effect her escape from my dungeon. Damnation. Has she just gone back to home, or is she hiding? Where is she now? That's annoying. I thought we was going to have an actual trial by combat. I was excited to see that. Apparently she's still in the White Star, so we'll have to look into that in a moment. High King Lister, I hereby invite you to participate in the Tourney of Strong Song, where the best knights and lords of the Vale shall be invited to compete. Yes, a chance to prove my worth. Let's go for it. Let's see if we can have a tourney king. That would be interesting. Let's see if we can command Danes to end this war. Let's see what he does. Do it. End your war, Danes. You fool. Lord Ellis of Longbow Hall ransomed Lyceria from the clutches of Lord Danes the Wise. The vote on whether to command Lord Danes Corpray to end his war against Lady Selene Redfort has been taken. The council voted in favour. Oh, nice. They've actually voted to end his war for once. Your Grace, I will of course obey your will and end the war as commanded. Please take this as a sign of my continued loyalty. Yeah, of course, Danes, of course. At least we managed to put a stop to that for now. Can we try and imprison you? Can we not actually try and imprison you? That's annoying. Because you escaped our prison, it's now apparently perfectly fine for you to just go back home and nothing happen. Has she still got her plot to kill us going? Have we at least managed to end that plot? Looks like we have. Thank God. So at least she's not plotting to kill us anymore. Well, that's annoying that we now can't punish her. That's disgusting behaviour from a Roseheart. I'd never expect a Roseheart to plot to kill their king. You can't get any more loyal than a Roseheart and a 7-star. Alton Greyjoy has had small flagship added to his treasury. Okay. Nothing that important, really, is it? When's this damn joust going to start? Start the damn joust before I piss myself. Oscar Greyjoy has had cunt removed from their treasury. Has he died, then? No, he hasn't. He must have given it away, or he's let it rot instead. Jeremy Viperin has called in a favour on Caven Greenhollow. And, the regency for High King Lister of Andalia has ended. We are finally of age. I have finished my education in stewardship. I feel that I have truly found my calling. Wealth is the slave of a wise man and the master of a fool. We gain the trait Brilliant Steward. Oh, beautiful. So we're going to have some very, very, very impressive stewardship now. 19 stewardship. Beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. What did our other stuff turn into? Nothing at present. We need to click to get a focus, business, or rulership. We'll go with rulership, which gives us 21 stewardship now, doesn't it? And we need a new ambition. See the realm prosper, become a knight, have a son, have a daughter, fall in love, become a paragon of virtue, become a knight. Let's go for become a knight first, and hopefully someone will knight us. We are also uncrowned now. We need a new designated regent. Well, nothing's going to change there. Our uncle's still going to be our regent. We're not going to change that. He's still our hand of the king and regent. But we can now organise a coronation ceremony. The time has finally come for me to be officially recognised as High King of Andalia. In order to do this, I will need the support of the faith, but convincing authoritative members will neither be easy nor cheap. To begin the preparations, I should find a priest willing to crown me. Send for the most powerful septon in the realm. Of course, yes. And can we hold a tourney in Sevenstar? And I don't think we can while we're at a tourney, can we? But we do want to do that soon. And who's this other prisoner that we've got? This random wildling. Can we ransom him? Can we not ransom him? No, because he needs 70. Oh, he needs 70 gold. How much gold does he have? 5. So that's not happening anytime soon, is it? He's got a daughter. Should we just release him? The war's over. I don't think we actually can release. Oh, we can release him. He's actually a chief as well, which is interesting. It's a shame that we can't just send him to the Night's Watch. What? His wife is a Tyroshi pirate, which is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Can't ransom him. We could just execute him, but it's not very just, is it, for Lister? Let's release him. Release him back into the wild. A raven has arrived from the Citadel. We should prepare as winter is coming. To the excellent King Lister of Andalia, I shall be honoured to officiate His Grace's coronation, provided that His Grace donates a small sum of money to the faith as a show of his devotion. Understandable. 50 gold's hardly anything. We can go for that. Now that I have found a faith of the 7 priest willing to crown me, I must decide how much I wish to spend on the ceremony leading up to it. Extravagant, dignified, or a private ceremony? Well, let's look at our trait. We're kind, temperate, charitable, erudite, humble, and diligent. Well, I can't see him going for an extravagant one, to be honest. I can't see it. So let's just go for... Let's just go for a dignified ceremony. We're not going to go all out. I don't think Lister would. He doesn't seem the show-offy type. Tourney of Strongsong. After arriving in Strongsong, the first day of the tourney began in earnest. You tilted against many lesser knights throughout the day, most of whom you unhorsed easily. Now in the coming days, the final round of lists begins, and the opposition shall surely become more fierce. I shall ready my horse. Right, yeah, let's finish this off, see how we do in this joust. The Tourney Herald announces the competition of the next joust. You have been drawn against Lord Hugh Royce. This is... Oh no, he's the actual lord, isn't he? Yes. You mount your charge and take a lance from your squire and ride to the end of the list as Lord Hugh does likewise. Then on cue, the horses break into a gallop. Steady. See how this goes. Your opponent got the better of you when you met in the centre of the list. Your lance merely makes a glancing blow on their armour, while their lance hits true. Oh dear. We do need to find ourselves some squires and wards, actually, now that we're of age. We'll have to have a look. The blow from Lord Hugh's Royce lance sends you reeling, and you struggle to stay on your horse. The crowd gasps, expecting you to fall. However, you maintain your grip, bringing your mount around the other side of the list, ready for another charge. This time, I'll strike. Your opponent got the better of us again. Oh dear. The time of my coronation draws near. Only a few more days before I am crowned High King before the gods and all my subjects. My court has been already filled with all the vassals of my realm who have come to bear witness to this fundamental moment of my reign. Well, how are we there and in Strongsong at the same time? Let's have a look for a couple of wards, actually. Do we have anyone in our court that would make... Elbin Aaron, who's 14, so no, he's probably a little bit too old. Want someone a little bit younger, if possible. Danie's High Oak, who is 10 years old. Yes, let's... what's he... He's got a stewardship focus as well. Perfect, yes. Let's assign Guardian. And let's go for ourselves. We're 16 now. We should be able to... we should be able to have our own personal... Yes, we can. Perfect. So we'll have Danie's High Hope as one of our wards. And let's have a look at our other wards. We need someone else around that age, 10 or maybe a little bit younger. We've got Girin Harlaw. He's our friend as well, isn't he, I think? I'm pretty sure he's our friend. He's only 10. He could be an option, which would be interesting. We have our brothers, but we won't go with our brothers for our ward. We'll go with other houses to form friendships. Got Medgar Rack. I believe he's one of our... Isn't he? No, he's not one of our friends. Medgar Rack isn't, is he? No. He's friends of Prince Engar, though, our brother. So he's a possibility. Medgar Rack. He could be one of our wards. Oh, Lionel Redguard, our friend who is 12. Yes, let's go with Lionel Redguard, the heir. Well, not the heir. He's the last Redguard, him and his brother. So we are going to grant him titles. So let's assign Guardian for him. What's he good at? He's very good at stewardship. Perfect. So we'll give him a stewardship education. And then we'll take him on as our ward, our personal ward. So he's actually a perfect match, which is good. Send. Perfect. Get ourselves our 2 squires, a Redguard and... I forgot what the other one was already. It was High Oak, wasn't it? Lord Hugh Royce lance strikes you square in the middle of your breastplate, exploding into many pieces. The force knocks the wind out of you and sends you flying from your horse. You are left lying in the dirt, defeated as the crowd cheers Lord Hugh. With so many distinguished guests having travelled all the way to my court, the least I could do is entertain them while we all wait for the day of my coronation. This could also provide me with an opportunity to impress some of my more influential guests. Here, everyone. Attempt to use diplomacy to impress your guests. I do not want to embarrass myself before the ceremony. What is our diplomacy like? 13? Yeah, let's go for it. We're not too bad. Whatever doubts I might have had about my performance were completely unfounded. My speech about the duties of a good High King to his subjects was poignant and extremely well received. Phew. We get... oh, perfect. So all our guests get a +10 opinion of us, and we gain 75 prestige, so... That went very well. Well done, Lister. Lord Hugh has been declared the winner. Of course, yes, we already know that, and he's got through to the next round of the jousts. Let's get this tourney over with. I was surprised tonight when Septon Wayne stated that the period of festivity I have organised is unfit for the severity of the holy charge I am about to receive. He has concluded his scolding by remarking that he has witnessed many impious acts and degenerate behaviour during his visit that have left him shocked and repulsed. Clearly he is exaggerating. Yes, he is, the absolute moron. As my day drags on, seemingly never ending, you can barely keep your eyes open. You seem to have no energy at all. We've gained fatigue, which is not good. That's not good at all. I suppose we have got a lot going on at the minute. Damon Sevenstar is sure you are developing the butterfly fever. How the hell have we got the butterfly fever? He insists that you follow his instructions very well. Butterfly? What? It was Sir Grennan Maiden. Oh, we've got another Grennan Maiden, have we? Interesting. Who's our cousin? And Lord Hugh Royce turned to joust in the next list. Lord Hugh won soundly in the final tilt. Sir Grennan was sent flying from his saddle in hail of shattered lance pieces. He landed with a sickening crunch and clearly grievously injured. How unfortunate. He's... Ow, lost an eye. Ouch. Lord Jason Brightstone and Sir Barth Rosby were the next to joust. After many tilts and broken lances, Sir Barth was eventually unhorsed, leaving Jason Brightstone to be declared the winner. Peace be with you. I gladly accept the guardianship contract between High King Lister and Lord Danes. Perfect. Lord Hugh Royce and Sir Grennan Maiden were the next to joust. We've just had this. Lord Hugh was the winner. Maester Damon insisted that the foul smells of civilization made you sick and ordered you to take daily walks in the wilderness. I'm not sure that did anything. Oh, cheers, Uncle Damon. Can we organise our own tourney yet? Lord Jason Brightstone and Sir Carl were the next to joust in the list. After many tilts and broken lances, Sir Carl was eventually unhorsed, leaving Lord Jason to be declared the winner. After many tilts over several days, only 2 knights remained undefeated. Lord Hugh Royce and Lord Jason Brightstone faced each other in the final joust. After many tilts of finally executed jousting, Lord Jason was unhorsed, leaving Lord Hugh Royce to be declared the winner of the tourney. He deserves it. He beat us, so at least we went out to the winner. And does that mean that we can now organise our own tourney? Not just yet. Coronation of High King Lister. I kneel before Septon Wayne as a host of lords surround us in complete silence. The Septon blesses me and places the crown upon my head, proclaiming me King Engar of Andalia by his grace, by the grace of the gods. I am finally and truly king. 75 prestige and piety. Perfect. We are now truly king, which is awesome. Is our wife not turned 15 yet? No, I want to see what her portrait's going to look like. We can now go to the barber shop, thankfully. So, can't see with the crown on though. Can we... One moment you will ship... Well, we need to take... Let's take our crown off. Let's... Unequipped, so that we've not got any crown on. We shouldn't have any crown on now. Why are we still wearing a crown? Let's have a look. Have we got a different crown on? No, we haven't, so we shouldn't be wearing any crown. I want to change our hair. One moment you are shivering, the next you are sweating, and overall you feel awful. We have gained a fever. Oh, don't you dare die, King Lister. Daemon Sevenstar states that his extensive medical experience leads him to certain conclusion that you have rabies. He insists that you follow... Okay, so we've gone from butterfly fever to rabies, which is not good, is it, really? Can we try and host a tourney at least now for our coronation? Why can we not host one? Is not currently attending. Apparently we've not returned yet from the other tournament. Fair enough. Maester Daemon gave you a foot bath against your fever. It was freezing. I'm glad I hired Daemon. Apparently it worked slightly. Okay. Interesting. Daenerys Corbury has had splint mail armor added to his treasury. Okay. Your Grace, I, Roger, sincerely ask that I be allowed to pursue a career as a Septon of the Faith of the Seven, so that I can fully dedicate myself to studying the seven-pointed star and worshipping the gods. Roger Shycross. I give you permission. Serve with honour. Yeah, go for it, love. If you want to become a Scepter, you go for it. The tourney of Strong Song is over, and we're now home, which means we can now organise our own tourney, and we, of course, are going to go for a grand tourney for all of the realm. Let's get everybody involved in this tourney. Can we... Let's go to the barbershop. Let's have a look at some hairstyles. Anything's got to be better than that previous one. Although you can't quite put your finger on what's wrong with you, you don't feel quite right. Okay, so we're really seem to be really ill at present, which is not good. Young Lionel is developing a kind of disposition towards others. He should be more charitable. Becomes charitable, which does lower your stewardship, I think, doesn't it? High is his diplomacy, though. It doesn't actually lower his stewardship. He can only be himself. He gains the trait kind instead. So charitable or kind. Kind lowers his intrigue, gives him 2 diplomacy. Vassal opinion +5, same trait opinion +5. Charitable, diplomacy +3, same trait opinion. We'll go with kind. Let's let him get kind. It's a decent trait. The best part about preparing for a feast, deciding what food stuff, we will spend lavishly on food. It's our first tourney and our first feast, so we want to impress. We want to get all the lords on side and try and stop a lot of this crap that's currently going on. Make sure there's no plots to kill us once more. I don't think there is. I think we're safe for now, which is good. We can try and seek treatment for our illness, though. We really do need to try and get ourselves better. I do not want us to die. Daemon Sevenstar states that his extensive medical experience leads him to a certain conclusion. You have rabies. We've already gone over this. Very well. Let's try and treat us then, Daenerys. The wandering minstrel entered the castle singing. He did not stop until he found me. With a flourishing bow and one long sad tone from his lute, he finished his song and asked for my patronage. I was just looking for some entertainment for my feast. The conjurer produced a rabbit from a hat, then made a handkerchief change colours from brown to red, and then he simply vanished from the room, only to knock on the door and open it a few seconds later. You must perform at my feast. Yeah, let's get lots of entertainment. To remedy your fatigue, Maester Daemon gave you a draught of milk of the poppy to help you sleep. I'm glad I hired Daemon. That improved our health massively, which is good. Thank goodness for that. It's time to let the tournament begin, and for the next 2 months, let's all show their martial brilliance. The tourney of Sevenstar, the Rose Heart of Sevenstar, should I say. So, yeah, let's get into the tourney. We're still waiting for our queen to come of age so that we can see what she turns out like. At the age of 40, Hugo Lips died a natural death. Okay, no idea who you even are. Prince Moore's Widowmaker ransomed Garrick from the clutches of Lord Darnold of the Northlands. Has he still got him as his prisoner? Yeah, he's still got the King Beyond the Wall as one of his prisoners. It'd be interesting to see what old Darnold Crownless does with him. Now 69. Nice, what an age. Well done, Darnold. Let's continue to forward along to the tourney. Melissa has arrived at our court. No idea who you are. Attractive, lustful, slothful, charitable, and incompetent steward. Okay, just a random courtier. She's... Can we arrange a marriage between you and any of our courtiers that need a marriage? Raymond Sevenstar, Anger... Let's go with Raymond, our cousin. Why not? Get him a marriage. He's quite low down in the family, isn't he? So, Lord Arlen Oxter has used his attendance at the feast in Sevenstar to present a petition for justice before the court. He claims that Lord Maynard Graystark had his kinsman, Lord Harstin Oxter, murdered, and demands that he is brought to justice for this outrageous crime. Well, let's go to Lord Maynard and check his kills. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, he did have him beheaded, but I don't know what for. What did he actually have him beheaded for? Lord Maynard must be arrested and made to answer his crime, or I would order Lord Maynard to pay just recompense. Or Lord Maynard is clearly not guilty of these accusations. Let's have a look at Lord Harstin. Had he actually done anything wrong? He seemed like a pretty decent guy, to be honest. So I don't know what he did. It's hard to know. I'll order Lord Maynard to pay recompense. At least then it's good between them both. Lord Dale Volmark has used his attendance at the feast in Sevensport to present a petition for justice before the court. He claims Lady Zosha Harlaw had his kinsman, Lord Norn Volmark, murdered and demands that she is brought to justice. Let's have a look at Lady Zosha the Reaver. And yeah, she killed 2 Volmarks. Wow, that's because they were loyalists, weren't they? Which is not good. Lady Zosha must be arrested and made to answer for her crime. There's 73% chance that she's in prison. Let's go for it. And Lady Zosha is now safely locked away in my dungeon, awaiting her fate. Perfect. The alliance between Sir Cormund and Lord Darnold had broken down. Sir Cormund Josso. How do they even have an alliance? He was sent to the wall a hell of a long time ago. Oh no! We was just talking about Darnold. We've jinxed it. Lord Darnold Crownless died a natural death at the age of 69. Bollocks. No, not Darnold. So who's the new lord? A Lord Colling of Northlands who, yeah, is absolutely pathetic. Oh, and he's... Please don't say she's a dragon rider. No, she's not, thankfully. But his son is Sir Darnold Crownless, isn't it? Who's very impressive. So I'm fine with that. At least when he dies, we get a very good Crownless lord. Let's get on with the tourney. And we need some new... I think it's a new commander we're going to need, aren't we? Considering our best commander has now died. What options do we have commander-wise? Danes Corbury, we're going to steer well clear of him. Okay, Edmund is pretty decent. Edmund Mooton. He's not bad at all, so yeah, we'll go with him. Lady Bertha of Blackrush has provided me with proof that someone has been viciously slandering me. Expose and denounce him publicly, giving me reason to arrest him. So we can arrest Lady Pera Blackwood. Let's threaten them with exposure unless they stay out of all factions. Sir Lyman Viprin has used his attendance at the feast in Sevensport to present a petition for justice before the court. He claims that Lord Master Kennard Merlin sullied his honour by having illicit relations with his wife. Well, let's have a look. Does he have any bastards? Is there any truth to this? Does he have a lover? Someone Greyjoy. Is she married to Lord Viprin? Yes, she is. So he'll be arrested and made to answer for his crime. Lord Master Kennard has evaded capture and is refusing to come to Sevensport to answer for his crimes. He has now raised his banners in rebellion. Lord Ragnar Irontide will be sent to squash this uprising. Lord Master Kennard of Orkmont has declared war against the tyranny of Lord Ragnar of the Seastone Isle. Okay, so we're going to have a little rebellion kicking off there. Sir Yorick Rook has used his attendance at the Feast of Sevensport to present a petition for justice before the court. He claims that Septon Colin Coldwater sullied his honour, Septon, by having illicit relationships with his wife behind his back. Well, let's have a look. Sir Yorick Rook, you're the heir, aren't you, to those lands? Let's have a look at your wife. Manella Stone, relations. She does have a lover who, yes, is a Septon, so it's true, so he must be arrested and made to answer for his crimes. My god, there's a lot going on here. Lady Sylvia Brune has used his attendance at the feast to present a petition for justice before the court. She claims that Lady Elena Belmore had her kinsman, Lord Jorin Brune, murdered and demands that she is brought to justice for the court. Oh, that was Lord Jorin the Cruel, weren't it? So Lady Elena must... No, Lady Elena is clearly not guilty of these accusations. She was well within her right. I'm pretty sure he did do something bad, if I remember correctly. I had invited a monkey trainer to the summer fair and the performance went well until the monkey refused to ride on top of the pig. The trainer beat the monkey with a stick and led the other monkeys to attack the trainer, binding him and hitting him over the head with a stick. Serves him right. Here's your money, I don't want to ever see you here again. The option is available because you have the charitable trait. Yeah, let's go for that one then, why not? Wow, the Irontides have a lot of power. Sir Eldrin Coldwater has used... Oh my god, another one. Used his attendance at the feast in Sevensport to present a petition for justice before the court. He claims that Demary Goldwater made an attempt on his life and demands that she is brought to justice. Who even is she? Okay. She doesn't seem the type. I don't... Well, then again, maybe. Not guilty. Margell spoke up and told everyone how great the food at my feast was. I was really glad someone was kind enough to say something nice about the food, given how hard I'd worked to ensure that the food was the best part of the feast. Well, thank you very much, Miguel Snow. Oh my god, we've got another one. Sir Adander Oxter has used his attention for Maynard Greystark again. We can pay you recompense. My prisoner lady Zosha Hawklaw is complaining about her dark cell. Let her rot for now. Lord Benfrey has used the attendance of the feast in Sevensport to present a petition for justice before the court. He claims that Lord Danes Corbury has sullied his reputation through defamation and libel and demands justice and recompense for this slight on his honour. Lord Danes must be arrested and made to answer for his crimes. That could end badly. We'll order him to pay recompense to Benfrey for now. When confronted with the evidence, Lady Paris swore to stay out of all factions and be loyal. Perfect. So some of these things at this feast have gone pretty well, at least. My prisoner Septon Colin Coldwash is complaining about his dark cell. We'll let him rot for now. We'll probably send him to the wall, to be honest. Let's get the feast out of the way and the start of the tourney, and I think we'll then end the episode, to be honest, guys. But has our wife yet come of age? No. She must be close, surely. She's got to be close. Best when you and your house, I accept your suggestion that Roman and Melissa get married. Perfect. Janella Harlaw died of cancer at the age of 61. You feel possessed, full of uncontrollable excitement and irrational fears. You have contracted rabies. Lovely. Can we seek treatment for the rabies? No, we can't at present. Okay, let's have a look at our prisoners that we've got. Colin, we will... can we not banish you? I want to send you to the Night's Watch. We'll call you for trial. And we'll also... Oh, we can't call you for trial, apparently. Can exile prisoner. Or we can ransom, which we'd get a lot of gold for, but I don't know if I want to do that. We're going to execute her. Or we get tyranny. I don't want to do that either. We'll leave it for now. Do you know what? We'll end the episode here, guys, for now, and then crack on with the tournament and such in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching, as always. I hope you've enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and comment down below, as I love all the comments on this series, and hopefully I'll see you all very soon for the next episode. I'm certain Lister has rabies. I don't know how or why, which frustrates me to no end. I think back now on all the symptoms he showed and how he was before. Throughout the last year, the virus must have been just working its way through him, only rearing its ugly head as a fully formed condition now. My moment is upon us. I will not fail Lister in his time of need. Over a year ago now, Lister came to me and told me he felt tired, lethargic, which is the first symptom of butterfly fever. Of course, I didn't ever seriously believe it was so, but better safe than sorry. This fatigue continued for quite a while, throughout his whole coronation. Oh, what a coronation it was. The plans for the crowning of the new king were spectacular, extensive, ostentatious even, and the event promised to be an occasion of excessive grandeur. The young king, however, decided he did not want to start his reign by putting strain on the royal treasury. He would have a dignified ceremony, yet at a manageable cost. He would have everyone of importance within his realm attending, and even though they used less than half the gold the original plans were estimating, working together, Lister and Sir Ermund Bloom made a spectacular affair. The crown of Andalia, worn by every king and queen in our relatively short history, being placed on Lister's head was a sight to behold, and my heart almost burst with pride. The next symptom he developed was a fever. It was at this point I was almost certain it was rabies, although I couldn't think when or where he could have gotten it. I gave him numerous treatments which I believed helped. His condition didn't stop him from his plans for the realm. After his first taste of a tourney, he was adamant that he should have one at Sevensport, one for all the realm to enjoy. He began the plan straight after his coronation. Obviously he didn't take part in this one, but the father knows he wanted to. He was still smarting over his early loss in the last tourney. The tourney began without a hitch, a brilliant feat of planning, another masterstroke pulled off at a very reasonable cost by Lister and Sir Ermund. I do wish that Lister took it a bit easier on himself. Since the full responsibility of the realm fell to him, he has not rested, however much I suggest it. He's thorough in all he does and takes pride in his accomplishments. He has also taken 2 young men under his wing, Lord Danes High Oak of Oakenfort, the bastard son of the landed knight Roland the Oak, and his friend Lionel Redguard. Both boys are promising students, and I'm sure Lister can impart some of the brilliance into them. He's also spending a lot of time with his new bride, the Lady Alyssa Bloom. She's a bright girl, and they spend much time locked away talking into the night. Heaven knows what they discuss, everything from taxes to tulips, I'm sure. Before the marriage, and as the time drew closer to when the king could marry, Benfrey and the council began scouring the realm for suitable brides from Vale to Islands, and from the furthest north to our borderlands. I knew that Lister wouldn't consent to marrying for politics though. He had seen what loveless marriages were like, and was determined his would be a union of mutual respect and admiration. The council weren't pleased to hear his thoughts on the matter, but Benfrey, seeing that the king's mind was made, consented, and only asked that he consult the king in his decision making. for we all only want what is best for you and for the realm." How lucky they were that the king wisely chose a wife from a noble family and someone quite so beautiful and brilliant as Queen Alyssa. Just after starting the tourney, festivities started and the king's plans were in motion. Lister developed another odd symptom, a feeling of illness and discomfort that he could not shake. Throughout the feast and petitions, the king had an air of malaise hanging around him. However, Lister handled each case put forward him with the impartiality of the law and the authority of the law. He demanded Lord Maynard Greystock to pay Lord Oxter for the unjust execution he exacted on his family. He called for Lady Harlaw to be arrested for the murder of 2 of Lord Volmark's kin. Lister also called for a septon accused by Sir Yorick Rook of having carnal relations with his wife to be arrested. Both arrests were successful, and they now sit in prison awaiting further judgment from the king. Finally, when the petitions were to close and the king looked positively grey, Lord Benfrey Highstar spoke. He denounced Lord Danes Corbury for slandering his name and reputation in front of all of the court, calling him out on his underhanded rumour mongering. The room grew silent, and the king, knowing well that Benfrey could have just as easily challenged Lord Danes to back his words with steel, takes a moment to decide his course of action. Lord Danes, sitting at a table with some other Vale lords and courtiers, looks at Lister with an unwavering stare. Lister stands and says, "Lord Danes, for the crime of slander you shall pay my uncle for the reputation you have slighted. You can accept this course of action, or should you wish to dispute it, you may prove the validity of the falsehood you lay on Benfrey to the court." What exceptional rulership. Lister backed Danes into a corner with just 2 routes available to him: pay outright and admit the rumours were untrue, or attempt to prove each rumour to the king and be shown to be false that way too. If Lister can rule as keenly and sagely while suffering from such difficult illnesses, then I rejoice for the realm under a healthy King Lister.